everybody, Rebecca Haddock with Equi-Tape here. Today we're going to talk about proper surface preparation. We've gotten a lot of comments on Facebook, Instagram, emails about getting your tape to stick. How do you get your tape to stick for as long as all these people I see on the social media? And this is how you do it. It all starts with proper surface preparation. Important things to note: the horse must be clean and dry. So this horse has already been brushed down. We've removed all of the loose dirt and dust, loose hair, anything like that has already been done. And next thing that we're going to do to have a good proper surface preparation is clean him with a microfiber towel and an alcohol. I use about a 70% alcohol, and I've got it here in my little spray bottle. It's really important to note that certain areas of the body have more sebaceous glands. These areas are right here in front of the neck, right in the girth area or behind the front leg, anywhere here in the flank, and on the inside of the leg. These areas have a lot of sebaceous glands. So what does that mean? That means that oil will stay on the hair and skin, and if there's oil on the hair and skin, it interferes with the adhesive properties in the adhesive, meaning that the tape isn't going to stick to the hair. And our goal in surface preparation is to remove everything off of the hair so that there is no barrier between the tape and the hair. So if you are going to be doing applications in any of these areas, remember that you're going to need to use more surface preparation. So what does it look like? We're going to go ahead and surface prep him on the back, and I am going to do just a simple one-piece application because we're also going to talk about some techniques. But we want to make sure the horse is actually clean. So I really like using the Equi-Tape microfiber towel. That's what I'm using today. This towel has been used so many times I've lost count. It's a good towel, it holds up. I like to take my towel folded in 4 quadrants. The 4 quadrants lets me go through the surface prep until the horse is clean and I know he's actually clean. And then I like to spray the alcohol directly onto the towel and not the horse. And the reason for this is I want to get that towel nice and saturated. Now, wait a minute, Beck, you said the horse has to be clean and dry. That's right, the horse does have to be clean and dry. However, pure alcohol like this, or this is a 70% solution, dries extremely fast. And it also forces moisture molecules out of the hair. That's really important for you people in humid areas. So if your horse gets wet with alcohol, it's going to dry very quickly, most likely itch dry before you've got your tape cut for your application. So I like it nice and wet. Like, I wonder if you can hear that in the mic. Hopefully you can. It's nice and wet. So I'm going to start step 1 here, and I am just going to prep. I like to go backwards and forwards. And what I'm looking to do is remove hair, dust, dander, fine particles, break up any kind of oil that may be on him, maybe like fly sprays, lotions, conditioning shampoos. If you like to use conditioner on your horse when you're giving him a bath, that leaves a very oily substance. And so you can see that his hair is starting to get wet with the alcohol. So let's just show the camera what that looks like. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to get a clean spot. And I'm going to do this again. If you ever notice the underside of your saddle pad, how it gets kind of gross after a while, that is the oil from the horse. And it's also dirt, dander, all those things build up, and that's what we're looking to pull off. So another clean side. And I will continue to do this on the area that I'm going to tape until it comes clean. So I keep checking, and that is almost clean, but I'm going to do it one more time. Again, I want to remove any and everything that could get in between the tape, adhesive, and the hair of the horse because I want it to stick for as long as possible. So now that we have a good clean towel, we know that this area is surface prepped. It is super important. If you cut your surface prep short, your application will not last as long as you want it to, and tape is not effective if it's on the ground. So there you go. That is a wonderful surface prep start and finish. I always like to end by laying the hair down in the direction that it grows and then taping right where I need to go. So when you're in a very humid area, you live on the coast, anything like that where you've got that high humidity, anything like 80% or higher, what you need to realize is those water molecules that are in the air are also in the horse's hair. So just like I did the surface preparation, what you're going to do is just add more alcohol to it. You almost want to saturate the hair in alcohol because the alcohol will force those water molecules off of the hair. And the horse only has to be technically dry for as long as it takes you to get the tape on. Once the tape is on, it's now waterproof and breathable. So very important in humid areas to saturate the horse more with alcohol to force those water molecules out. There's a couple other tips and tricks you can use. Using baby powder or cornstarch after you have done a really good removal of the oil with your alcohol. If you sprinkle a little bit of baby powder on there, it'll suck up the moisture. Just brush it off and then go ahead and apply your application there. I have also had some success in high humid areas with using an aerosol hairspray as well. And the same principle is that the aerosol hairspray has more alcohol in it, and so it's forcing the water molecules out, but it also leaves a stickiness behind. So I have had some success doing that as well, but the greatest majority of my success in taping humid areas is just being more aggressive with the amount of alcohol I use. If you're taping in extreme temperatures, one of the things that happens, and you'll notice, is you can walk up and put your hand in the horse's hair and you feel the sweat on the skin. And if there's sweat on the skin, then there's a lot of moisture on the skin, and that's going to interfere with the adhesiveness of the tape. So just like in those high humid areas, you're going to use the same principle in your hot areas because technically the humidity on the skin and hair is extremely high. So you're going to use extra alcohol, really force those water molecules out. And remember, we only need to be clean and dry on the hair that we're actually taping on. So if this top layer is nice and dry from my surface prep and my alcohol solution, and I get that tape on right away, you're going to do just fine. Now, if you're taping in extreme cold, there's a couple more steps that you're going to have to log back in your brain. Number one, keep your tape in a warm area. So when I'm out working on horses in the frigid, freezing cold, I'll put the tape in my coat. The closer I can get it to my body to keep that temperature high, the better that the tape is going to go on the horse. You're really going to have to work hard to activate your adhesive in cold temperatures. So as soon as you pull that tape out of your jacket, put it on the horse, and then you're really going to have to rub that tape really, really aggressively to activate the adhesive. Once the adhesive activates, you'll be great. There are two different technique worlds. There's a technique that you use just when dealing with the tape, and then there's the technique that you use to put the application on. So we're going to talk about those two different worlds really quickly. When we are talking about the tape itself and how to make the tape adhere to the horse better, there are 5 things you need to remember. Always cut rounded corners. Rounded corners will make your application last longer. The next important thing to remember is that we never stretch the tape on the last 2 to 3 inches. Ever, ever, ever. We use the proper amount of stretch for the application. Do not touch the adhesive. If you touch the adhesive, you're getting your own oils and debris from your skin and dander on the adhesive, and that will create a barrier. And lastly, is we always rub the tape lightly yet vigorously to activate the adhesive. So if we talk about technique in putting the tape on the horse, it's slightly different, but very similar. Always round your corners. You're going to want to make sure you do not put stretch on the last 2 to 3 inches of the tape, either the first 2 to 3 inches of the tape or the last 2 to 3 inches of the tape. Do not overstretch the tape. If you overstretch the tape will come off the horse. It is designed to go on at a particular stretch for each application. Then you're going to want to rub your tape lightly yet vigorously to activate the adhesive. And the final step is, if you need it, use an anchor. So I'm going to do a quick application. We've already surface prepped him. Now I want to put those techniques into a simple application. I'm going to tear the paper backing at the end and pop the ends up. I'm not going to touch the adhesive. I'm not going to pull the backing off my tape until I'm ready to put it on the horse. The first 2 to 3 inches of the tape, I'm not going to use any stretch. I'll use the proper stretch for the application. Last 2 to 3 inches, I'm not going to use any stretch. Then I'm going to rub the tape lightly yet vigorously to activate the adhesive. When I say rub the tape lightly yet vigorously, this is not it. Done. No, you need to rub it. It is designed to be activated, so you've got to activate it. Rub that sucker lightly yet vigorously to activate the adhesive. If you're in a cold and frigid environment, that rubbing should last for another couple of minutes to make sure your adhesive is properly activated. A question I get all the time is, how long do you leave the tape on the horse? You want to leave the tape on until the reason you're taping is no longer there. So if you're taping your horse because he has a stiff, sore back, you want to leave the tape on until the back is no longer stiff and sore. I think a better question is what constitutes a tape failure? So just like any fabric, it is affected by UVA, UVB rays, meaning the sun. So the longer it's in the sun, the more the sun will break down the material itself. So a tape failure is not going to happen because of your adhesive. It's going to happen because of the elasticity in it. So if you are not seeing your tape recoil, if it looks almost loose then you know that the elastic has broken down and it's no longer working the way it should. So you can go ahead and pull that application off and put a new application on until you've achieved the goal that you're taping for. If you would like more information on how to become a certified Equi-Taping practitioner, just go to our website. You'll see courses, go to online courses. The Fundamentals of Equi-Taping course with the certification option is a great place to start down the road and becoming an Equi-Taping practitioner. If you're looking for a certified Equi-Taping practitioner in your area, go ahead and email us at info@equitape.com. Send us your information and we'll find a practitioner to get in touch with you. At Equi-Tape, we believe that everybody who has a horse should have a basic understanding of how to use equine elastic kinesiology tape and Equi-Tape. We have created education just for the everyday person. So now non-professionals can learn how to use the tape and be successful as well. Go ahead and visit our website at www.equitape.com. Look under courses, and there you'll find our online introductory course. Yes, you definitely want to store your tape in an environmental controlled location. What do I mean by that? I mean temperature and humidity controlled. So the house is a great place to store your tape, not really the barn. If you do live in a humid environment, we would highly suggest you putting your tape in a Ziploc bag or a plastic container that you can make airtight. This will increase the longevity of your tape. So remember, we want it in a humidity and temperature controlled environment. Somewhere like the house is a great place. We get asked all the time, is there really a difference between the brands of tape? Yes, there is a big difference. Equi-Tape was designed for the horse. We specifically constructed the tape for the horse, from the material that we use, the type of adhesive that we use, the way we put the adhesive onto the material. All of that is created specifically for the horse. We are an equine company. Everything we do is for the horse. And our techniques are specific to the horse as well. So they're not like any other taping company out there. If you use a different brand of tape in the Equi-Taping method, you will not get the same results. Because we constructed our tape specifically for the horse, all of our techniques and all of our applications are designed for the horse, and you need the real Equi-Tape to be able to do these techniques. So this tape has only been on this horse for 10 minutes. And I went to take it off, and I made the cameraman turn the camera back on. I mean, look at how sticky this is. This is the differential in proper surface preparation and good technique. Your tape is going to stick. So we might as well show everybody how to pull the tape off the right way. You're just going to put your hand behind where you're pulling off so you can push the hair and those sensories and receptors in the skin not to bother the horse, and I just pull it right off like that. Super sticky. And while we're here, I should mention one more thing. Can you reuse this piece of tape? No, you cannot. It's now got all of that stuff that our towels and whatnot didn't pick up, even though we tried really hard. So it's a one-time use only. So you want to get it on right the first time, and you want to do a good job so you get the best bang for your buck.